All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol Nndm, Nano Dimensions. And before we jump into this chart, I do want to announce to all investors and viewers the launch of my website, Invest for Tomorrow. Highly recommend checking it out. I will put the link down below. There's an intro video that gives you the forward outlook on the website and the purpose of the website. Here are the forums that you'll have access to once you become a member. You can look over them. And then also here are the member options. You have to click on member options, and on the bottom of each member option, you can see what each one gives you access to. But I do want every single investor to be aware that it is optional, and it's just a further extension of what we do here on the YouTube channel. I look forward to building a community of investors looking for the same goal, to learn and grow together and build their portfolios as they learn more and more about investing. So here we are with Nano Dimensions. Nano Dimensions has hung out kind of in a downward trend, but it's still holding itself up, right? It hit lows today of about 603. 601 is probably one of the most important support levels. If that gets broken through, Nano Dimensions could be on its way to hitting newer lows. And something I'm excited about, which if I see that ARK Invest is buying as this is going down or selling, because that's what we need to watch for, Nano Dimensions has been a big position right now for ARK Invest, right? They've been making their position larger. I'm waiting for the day that I see them actually shave off some of their position. That would say in big terms what's going on, or what are they thinking, or were they trying to rebalance their sheet, or they were just seeing an opportunity to take some profits, unrealized profits, right? Because they're all kind of sitting there right now. But right now their whole entire valuation is around 24 million. The lowest I've seen it go is close to 23, 22 million. But their position gets larger and larger. It's at about 3.8 million shares right now. I'm waiting to see if this is continuing to get closer to 4 million as this goes down. Yesterday, ARK Invest didn't buy anything at all. They left their position the same. I look forward to seeing that. They haven't updated anything, and I will be making a video for you guys on that information and what that could mean for Nano Dimensions moving forward. But I'm looking, because if they're making their positions larger, they're seeing room for value. And if they're not, then they're kind of on a hold standby, trying to see what's a good another entry. Or if they shave off just one share, that's going to be a big deal. And I can't wait to see what they're doing, because we as investors want to know what's going on in the minds of institutional investors, right? All these institutions, because they don't have just one investor or analysis in the team. It's a big team, and it's not just one person calling the shots. It's a group, and if a group is making a decision, that's something to consider or think about. You know, doesn't mean that everything ARK Invest, every single investor is supposed to do or follow. It just gives us insight on how other investors, right? Because institutional investors are investors as well, are thinking about the stocks that all investors are watching or joining in on or being a part of, right? You want to know what other investors are thinking. That's the cool thing about communities of investors. You'll know what other people are thinking. So I look forward to seeing your guys' comments down below. How do you guys feel about this since it's getting closer to $6? It got really close to it. Do you guys think this is going to hold itself up or break through it as next week continues? I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts down below, and I will update you guys if ARK Invest has made their position larger, stayed the same, or made a difference in a downward trend with their position. That would be very interesting. To this point, they have not sold one. All they've done is add and add and add all year. So that would be a big interesting remark there. So support was broken through 635. I already said 601 is a very important support level to watch for the next coming days and weeks as the volatility of this stock continues. I've stated that way up here before the fall, 787, super important for the bulls to break through. And now in this recovery, before it continued to fall even more, right here at this point is pretty important as well. 733. Now we have another one to look at, 719. But those are a lot of lines on your chart. So I would kind of break it down to 733 and way up here at 787 for now. But we need to look at this more narrowed in and what's going on here. So let's see what our new resistance and supports are. So I want every single investor to be aware of the fact that the 50-day moving average is 642 and we're below it. That means that we're in bearish territory and we're sitting at 620 right now. The bulls need to break through the 50-day moving average, but most importantly, this resistance, which is one of the highest points before it continued to hit these newer lows and level off. So we're going to talk about all of that in just a second. Most importantly, in my opinion, is this support. It's the closest support level to the lows of 601 from the previous offering. And a lot of us as investors were excited. You know, the offering finished on the 9th. This should start to run up and have room for growth, and it's been going in the other direction. Now, the good news is they formed a support before breaking through 601 at 603, but that's still pretty close, and we're sitting right now at 620, not that far from it. So if this breaks through support, we need to watch this very closely, and how quickly is it going down away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. And if it breaks through 603, how quickly does it break through 601 or $6 if you want to round it down, since it's a 1 cent difference, and how quickly is it pulling down to newer lows in the $5 range? That's going to be very important. I think that's probably one of the most important things to keep in mind and pay close attention to. Now, the 50-day moving average, yes, it needs to be crossed. I believe it's probably one of the most important points that needs to be crossed so that this can end up in bullish territory. But the bulls need to break through resistance to pull away from the 50-day moving average and work its way up deeper into bullish territory and newer highs. So 654 is a very important point for the bulls. They need to turn that into a support, break away from the 50-day moving average in an upward direction to hit newer highs, new resistance levels, and get deeper into bullish territory. I think that is the most important point, more than the 50-day moving average right now, for the bulls to start to gain leverage and actually build some momentum in the upward direction and get themselves deeper into bullish territory, right? And form that staircase effect to hit newer highs, new resistance levels, and get deeper into bullish territory. I think that is one of the most important points for this stock right now in the chart. And if it doesn't accomplish that, it could be way back down into bearish territory. And if it hasn't broken through the support of 603, it will still be below the 50-day moving average, giving leverage to the bears to then break it down and at some point break through these support levels that are very important and we want to watch. And if they both get broken through, the next point would be down here at 577. So I want every single investor to keep that number in mind as well. And if you want to keep it even closer, 583, which that's like a 5 cent difference. Those are the next support levels if 603 and 601 get broken through. And how quickly is it moving down to those points? Or are the bulls even trying to reappear? So I hope that with these cues, you guys are well equipped for tomorrow's trading day. And before I end this video, I also want to point out how I talked about the previous reaction that the stock had in one of the offerings, right? It ran up, it fell down. I mean, this was a very different experience than everything that's been going on here, but it actually could pull itself down like how it acted here. I mean, it went up to $6 and it went down to almost $1 and some change. That was like a $5 difference. Now, the most recent one was this one as well with that pullback and went up to about $6 and it sat at around a little bit below $3. So that was like a $3 difference. So the question is, will we see a $2 to $3, $5 difference from these peaks up here? And if you do that math, right, at almost 8, $3 to $4 difference, that means that, or almost 5, that means that this could be on its way down to anywhere between, you know, a total amount of $4 or $5 per share, which would bring it back down around this area, this whole entire area here. So we need to watch this closely if it's going to react like these previous ones. I mean, this one had a big impact on the stock. This one was a little bit smaller, and then it ran back up. We need to see, we need to watch if that history of the whole entire chart is going to repeat itself. But right now, what we do know is that when you kind of zoom this in and you don't make it so like broad, but looking at it broader kind of shows you every cent, it kind of looks like it's in a sideways movement. But when you really look at it, it's in a downward trend, and we need to watch this closely. There's some momentum here being built. Let's see if the bulls can use it to bring themselves up. But if they can't, they might tear down through these newer lows, and we need to watch this closely the next coming week and keep in mind these numbers. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.